Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome tonight to Temple Emmanuel. We are so glad that you're here, and we are so glad to be together. I just want to acknowledge the week that we've had. And I just want to say that our hearts and our blessings go out to the family of Yaron Lashinsky. Our hearts and our blessings go out to the family of Sarah Milgram. Acts of terror on our soil, like what we saw in the overnight on Wednesday, break our hearts. There's so much more that can be said and that should be said. To friends, to colleagues, to the Jewish community, to the broader American community on this Memorial Day weekend, to all of us. There's pain, there's sorrow, so many other emotions. One of the reasons that we come together on Shabbat is for spiritual uplift. And one of the reasons that we come together on Shabbat is because of those words that are going to be said tomorrow morning when we finish the book of Leviticus. Because that's what this Shabbat is. We finish the book of Leviticus. And at the end, we add words in which aren't even printed in the Torah. Those words are chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. It's kind of like a little cheer that we do, like the person reading Torah. Tomorrow morning, the bat mitzvah Maddie, she's going to say chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, and then the whole community will yell back, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. And I'm just going to translate that colloquially. It means together we're stronger. And wow, on this Shabbat, I think we needed to hear that message. Together we're stronger. So however we find joy tonight, however we find comfort, however we find each other, let's keep that. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Together as a people, let's all be stronger. And let's all say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Look around the room once again. Just make eye contact with someone and, give them that little, smize. Isn't that what they call it? Like smiling eyes, right? Wish them a good Shabbos. And we're just really, really blessed to all be together. Our service will continue right now with the lighting of Shabbat candles. And we'd like to ask now for the Chaverut Committee, Temple's committee, which I think in other communities is called the Membership Committee, but we have called it the Chaverut Committee, and I'll say a little bit more about that. Maybe we'll hear a little bit more about that as the evening goes on. But if the Chaverut Committee will come forward at this time, their task in the course of the next minute or so is to bring a little bit more light into our world. That sounds fitting. I think that that's what all of the people that belong to this congregation do. They bring not just a little more light, but a lot more light into a world that sorely needs it. And as we begin Shabbat tonight, we marvel as they bring more light into not only our world, but also our lives.
Now, do I read the English? Where is it? I don't know
In the prayer books, we're on pages 120 and 121, and we're using the blue numbers, which are in the brackets at the bottom of the pages, just in case we say page 120, you're like, what page 120 are you on? So it's the one that are the blue numbers at the bottom of the page.
Is she coming? Oh, wait, is it okay to go? Okay. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav Itzianu Lahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של השבת.
Shabbat Shalom. In the course of the next moments, you're going to get a chocolate kiss. And if you're joining us on the live stream tonight, and welcome if you're joining us or you're watching this a little bit later, you may want to use these next moments to go and get yourself a piece of chocolate also, something that will make this Shabbat so sweet. So in the room, and don't start eating the chocolates yet. If you want to help out, all right, Serenity and Rhapsody, you all want to help out with the chocolates. We got them coming around over back there too, okay? Because I know that's your job there, okay? We're on pages 138 and 139 as we continue with the singing of Lecha Dodi. We're going to sing verses 1 and 2 as we go along on page 138. Then we're going to make our way over to verse 5 on 139. You will not be tested on this, but once we finish verse 5 and Lecha Dodiing, we're going to stand up and face towards the entryway to the congregation here. Boy, tonight that really resonates, the entryway. By the way, given some of the things that we've been thinking about in our own lives, at some point tonight, and I know lots of us do this, but please make sure you make your way over to the security that we have here, the security guards, and just tell them how appreciative you are of who they are and what they do and the way that they provide connections for all of us and the way they have our backs. So, chocolate, don't eat it yet. Don't squeeze it too hard, otherwise it'll melt. Lecha Dodi. Lecha. Ah. But as you take your seat, why don't you move a little bit closer, maybe to someone from your family that you're sitting next to, or maybe a new friend that you made, or if you're sitting a little bit away from everybody else, move a little closer to everybody else. This way we'll have the opportunity to at least reach out, like the old phone book commercials, reach out and touch somebody, right? Remember those? Remember phone books? Right? And what we want to do is we want to take our hands and put them on somebody, the way that our tradition has been doing for as long as we can remember, right? Parents placing hands on their children's heads and doing so in a way that, well, you need some chocolate.
Some more chocolates.
Oh, yeah. It's over here.
Over there.
All right. So much for doing things discreetly. That's, by the way, that's good. Yeah, he didn't only take for himself, but look at what he did first. He said, anybody else. There you go. That is a very, very Book of Leviticus thing, right? Love your neighbor as yourself. Okay, even though we're finishing that book this Shabbos, right? Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. But what we're going to do, we'll place our hands on each other. I love this, right? Right, because if you're newish to Temple Emmanuel, right? You're like, oh, what's this going to be like? And maybe you've gotten a taste of it so far. That's why you decided you wanted to be part of this congregation. But we do connect to each other. And so you're going to repeat after us, first in Hebrew, then in English, these words of blessing. And at the end, you're going to take a chocolate and give it to someone else, and who knows, you may get one in return. And if you want to add your own words of blessing, you're always welcome to do that too. Tell somebody something real special. Yivarechecha Adonai.
Yivarechecha Adonai.
V'yishmerecha.
Yishmerecha.
May God bless you.
May God bless you.
And may God keep you.
May God keep you. Ye'er Adonai.
Ye'er Adonai.
Panav elecha.
Panav elecha.
Vichuneka.
Vichuneka.
May God's light shine on you.
May God's light shine on you.
May God be gracious to you.
And may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai. Panav elecha. V'yasem lecha.
V'yasem lecha.
Shalom.
Shalom.
May God always be with you.
May God always be with you.
And bless you with peace.
And bless you with peace.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, go ahead and give chocolate to each other. Enjoy the chocolate if you're joining us on the live stream. Maybe you've set up, if you're on the live stream, to be with other people and you're giving chocolate to each other. I don't know. I mean, you can see us. We can't really see you, but we can feel your spiritual presence, and it really makes a big difference. Our service will continue now. We should stand because the ark doors are going to be open. We're on page 146 as we continue with Baruch Hu and our blessings. Please remain standing. The way that our prayers work is these are more than just words. It's almost like they transport us to different moments in our Jewish story, the story that we tell each other about maybe what the world is, how the world came into being. The first of the steps along the way takes us all the way to creation. And so on page 148, we join our voices together and we feel like we're in those first moments of creation, or maybe at the end of that first week of creation, as we went from that sixth day, that day that humanity was created, into that seventh day, that day that we, from that moment forward, have called Shabbat, that time that we take that deep breath and we feel the power of creation. We feel grateful for all that creation has provided. Let's say together, "Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night, distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening."
Baruch atah Adonai, Hamarim Aravim.
And so for that first blessing, if we find ourselves back in the Garden of Eden, this next blessing finds us standing there at the foot of Mount Sinai, receiving Torah, receiving guidance and direction, and knowing that this is a token of God's love. Let's continue on page 150 in the English. "Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel."
Baruch atah Adonai,
Ohev Amo Yisrael. Take our seats and we'll continue on page 154 with the chanting of V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'hayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher anochi
Turning in our prayer books to page 157, As we prepare to sing our prayer of freedom and hope, we listen to these words. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Let's join our collective hands in joy. We come over 158. Turning in our handout, we're on page 2, I believe. Hold on 1 second. Oh, no, my apologies, page 6. Our prayer of evening. You know, it's hard with the light still up, but as the night goes on, our sky will grow darker, and we need to bring light in ways that our hearts can do it. So we do that through community and being together and asking for God's protection over us. His words, Hashivino, ask for that. So let's sing them together on the top of page 6.
continue now on page 164.
As our art doors are closed, you may find a seat. Over the next number of pages through 180, there are additional prayers that you might consider tonight. As well, this is an opportunity to listen to the prayers of our own hearts as we take a few moments for silent prayer. We're on the bottom of page 180.
Oh, say shalom, Hallelujah, say shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael,
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome everyone to Temple tonight. I will tell you this. It doesn't take long to realize that all roads lead to Greensboro somehow. And from where I sit, all roads seem to also lead to Temple Emmanuel in Greensboro. Let me explain. I was in Poland on the March of the Living at the end of April through early May. I think many people know this. Our group was at one of those places that makes you cry. That's not the purpose of the story. All of a sudden, someone approaches me and says, "You're with Temple Emmanuel in Greensboro." Oh, I'm like, what? Why, yes, I am. I grew up there. And the conversation went from there. I wish I could say that was the first time that ever happened. And it was. In Poland. But it really wasn't the first time that it ever happened. Greensboro and Temple Emmanuel connections, happen all the time. Just be here long enough. And they happen. And that's part of what it means to be part of a community. To belong. At our annual meeting earlier this week, I had the occasion to speak about the number of families that belong, and I use that word very, very specifically, belong to Temple Emmanuel. Because belonging, that's what we're all searching for in life, is to belong somewhere. 592 was the number, and that is up from last year at this time. In fact, just so that you know, for the past 4 years that I have been senior rabbi at Temple Emmanuel, the number of people, the number of families that belong to Temple Emmanuel has grown. And I don't say this to brag about myself. I say it actually to highlight what our temple is and what our community is. And I'm so grateful for this community. So my starting words tonight, all roads lead to Greensboro and to Greensboro's Temple Emmanuel, are really a way to say what I say every time we come around to new member Shabbat, which is thank you. Thank you for belonging here. Thank you to everyone who has turned to someone else to say, check out Temple. To those who have smiled when someone they don't know has come by here on a visit, has been here for a service or a program, here being in person or digitally. Thank you. Thank you to Temple staff. Thank you to the volunteer leaders of Temple, especially our Chaverut committee. I said that word before. Chaverut is the modern Hebrew word for membership, but maybe we should say belonging. Because Chaverut reflects much more than just that Hebrew word. Chaver in Hebrew means to have a friend. That's much more than just being a member somewhere. We all seek friendships. We want more than just membership, as I said before. We want belonging. People who call Israeli kibbutzim home are known as chaverim. I guess in the old socialist world, that would have been comrade or something like that, right? But there's something really that happens on a kibbutz, chaverim. You don't just have rights on a kibbutz in Israel, you also have responsibilities. Maybe I've quoted this before. Maybe you can finish this sentence from me. Remember President Kennedy? Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Don't we need to hear those words? For our temple, it's the same way. Membership, belonging has that expectation the temple will do for you. But to be a chaver, to live in chaverut, means that the temple is really not some faraway concept. It's us. It's all of us. What can we do with and for each other? And people often ask me, what makes this 118-year-old temple so very special? Is it our history? Is it our buildings? Is it our prayer books? Our songs? I'll tell you what it is. Yes, it is all those things. But it's you. Each and every one of you who are part of this community, who belong to this community, who take those words to heart. It's as if this community has been waiting for you until right now, until this very time. Now that you're here, welcome. Your search, your work, and your journey are far from over. In fact, they're just beginning. Get involved, find your niche, stretch, try not to ask, why isn't this happening? Or I saw something over there, why don't you do that? Instead, stand up and say, how can I help to make something that I'd really like, maybe a dream, into a reality? And above all, please do this. Please reach out and be welcoming to others. More than ever, the world we live in needs understanding. It needs welcoming. It's starved for inclusivity, which is under attack right now. It yearns for learning. It needs depth. It needs spirit. It needs Judaism like the Judaism that we bring here at Temple. And it needs you. We're so grateful that you are here. Welcome. May you always know blessings as part of our temple community. And what a blessing that our Chaverut committee is led by Sharon Moran and Dr. Jerry Plofsky. Do that thing, the Ruach hands. There you go. They've been the lead ambassadors of our community, not only when people approach temple to make things official, but they also have done such beautiful work connecting people to people and also following up. So thank you. So without any further delay, let me invite Dr. Plofsky, Jerry, to the Bema, who's going to talk about our temple and the sacred work that he and so many others have made possible.
Thank you, Rabbi. My name is Jerry Plofsky, and I am the co-chair of the Chavarut Committee. I share this committee with Sharon Maroon, who's with me today. It's a committee that is made to welcome people to this temple. We're famous for giving a hug. We give a hug to people. And then if you stay long enough, we then give you a gift welcoming you. We give you a mug. So we're kind of the people that do a hug, then we mug you. Our committee is made up of about a half a dozen members of the temple. And when somebody joins, somebody in our committee is assigned to you, and they're like your ambassador. So they call you. I hope they don't bother you too much, but they call you just to invite you and to be personal with you and welcome you to our congregation. And they tell you about a number of things that we do here. One of them is the newcomer Shabbat that you're part of right now. Another thing is when the high holidays come, you have a chance to go up front to the Bema and do an aliyah for being a new member. You get a chance to come to sukkah decorating parties where we all come together and decorate the sukkah, which is a great thing. And if you don't have a mezuzah, we actually have a mezuzah caravan where we and the rabbis, with your permission, come to your home and we hang a mezuzah. You have the mezuzah, we have the tools to hang it, and we have the prayers to do it, but you have to invite us to come or we won't come. We have a wine and cheese party, which we haven't had for a while, but we're going to have it soon. I think it's my turn, so that's why it's been hesitant that we haven't done it in a while. And then we have coffee and connections, which Sharon runs, which is kind of a welcoming group to get people to know each other. But we invite you to be part of this temple, really to take part of it. There's a lot of great things in this congregation. The Social Action Committee is amazing. There are book clubs to be involved with. But my favorite thing is Torah study on Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock. If you come to it, you'll find that the rabbi will be there, and they'll go over a portion of the Torah. And it's not just sitting and reading the Torah. Read a portion of it, but the rabbi brings literature from rabbis from the past, and we have a discussion about that part. It turns out to be more like a philosophy class, more like an English class, and people get personal in it. So it's really a touching, moving event. We all really take part in it. But what's fascinating is the people that come to it, because people come to it from all over the country, which is that people zoom into the meeting, past members from the temple that don't want to give up Torah study. So we get people from Los Angeles, all over the place. But what's also fascinating is the people that actually come Saturday morning. Most people are Jewish, but not everybody who comes is Jewish. People who come are diverse. They're a college student, they're a college professor, they're business people, they're lawyers. I even hear a psychiatrist shows up now. So we invite you to come to it. But I have a thing to say that's not just a statement, but is really a question, and it's for the 37 new families that have joined this year. And the question is what do you want? What do you want out of this temple? Yes, we want you to join. Yes, we want you to be part of it. But we also want you to take charge, to take leadership, to tell us what you want to do and let us help you do it. We want you to take over some things. We want you to be leaders in this group. We want you to do things like if you want to do a gourmet dinner club, we'll support you. If you want to plan a trip to go to the ocean, we'll support you. If you want to plan a trip to go skiing, to make a poker night, we'll support you. And if you want to come to learn about pickleball, we'll support you. You can come here and take lessons, and I know somebody who teaches it here, and she's pretty good at it, teaching it. But you could make a pickleball league and make Temple one of the pickleball teams. In other words, we don't want you to feel like you have to fit in. We want to fit into you. We want you to tell us what you want out of this temple and we'll do everything to encourage that to actually happen. So we want you to be part of this. We want to share this temple with you. One last thought about how we're connected to this place. When Debbie and I moved here 30 years ago, we came to Green Street, which is the place that we would come for temple 30 years ago. And if you remember Green Street, you walk out the doors and you go down steps, and there's steps all sitting there. So that's the kind of environment. When we came, we thought it was a great place. We really enjoyed it. When I grew up in Baltimore, my parents never joined a congregation. We always got high holiday tickets. And we went to a temple that was always sold out, so we had to go to the Overflow Temple, which was typically a movie theater. So we went to this movie theater, we had services, the doors would open, and then everybody would run out at the end and go to their cars to get home as fast as they could because they wanted to miss the crowd. They didn't want to get stuck in traffic, right? Well, when Debbie and I came here and we had our first high holiday service at Green Street, when the services were over and the doors opened, a really unusual thing happened. Everybody stepped out onto the steps and they stood there and they talked to each other. I thought to myself, why don't they just go home? They didn't want to go home, they wanted to talk to each other. They wanted to connect with each other. They liked each other. I thought that was incredible, and I told Debbie, this is the congregation we're going to be part of. So welcome to Temple. Welcome to Temple Emmanuel. Come join us and come change us. Shabbat Shalom.
I want to read the names of the new members. Whether you're here or not tonight, because again, maybe you're joining us digitally, I think everyone who's here is just going to do those Ruach hand things, right? So as we announce everybody's name, but if you would, please stand up at this time, and I'll tell you, we have a really beautiful video that we put together. Tonight we're going to have that running in our foyer area during the time after, like during Oneg time. Okay, and you may be saying to yourself, well, why don't we do it in here in the main sanctuary? And the answer is, remember, technical difficulties? So that's it, just an interesting gloss. And never put it past Temple Emmanuel to improvise and to do something else cool. So if you would, stand up, and we'll do the spirit hand thingies. And I will read names. These are maybe, they don't look to be in alphabetical order, but you've already let off Rabbi Amy Hertz and Beth Goldstein, if we would. Yeah, there we go.
Good job.
All right.
Oh, wait.
And once we've done this, you can sit down. And while we're doing this up here, let me also ask for Debbie, who's our cantor tonight, to please join us on the bima. Debbie, by the way, that's not this here. You've been a part of Temple forever and ever. And Dr. Broad, Dr. Andy Broad, who's Temple's president, just so that when we're done reading the names, we're all set for the next part of our service. And you can take one of these handouts. Let me call Perry and Robert Pantages. Did I get that right? Because I know you are. And tonight we are also going to welcome Glenda and Brian Bernhardt. And I'll tell you a little bit about Glenda, who happens to be the new head of the Greensboro Jewish Federation. And we're so glad that she is part of this congregation. Her father of blessed memory was a Reformed colleague, a Reformed rabbinic colleague of ours. And we are just so delighted. Michal Eckstein and Jim O'Gara and the gals. Serenity and Rhapsody are here tonight. It is a real delight to mention the name of Addie Sellers. Addie, if you would stand. And we're going to mention Eileen and Julian Harper. Lindsay and Tom Brock, and I think you got the little ones with you tonight too. There you go. Hey! Ellen, help me with your last name. Just Kia, right? Because I know if I try too hard, I'm going to mess it up.
If you think about the Keel IRA from years and years.
Is that
No.
But that's how, all right, give me 3 strokes. Okay? Shifra Arman and Bill Little. Wow. We grew up together. It is really an honor to call Alexa Cutler. And I'm going to ask for Carla, and am I saying this right? Davidoff, and Aryeh Davidoff. Well, the whole mishpachah will stand. There we go. Yeah. Hey, Ben. There you go. I can still see you, though. I had the same haircut when I was in high school. Now I'm follically challenged. So just watch it. Mary Louise Penaz and Robert Villani, and I hope I pronounced that right, and chances are they are joining us digitally tonight, and we just think the world of them. Dale Canterman. There you are, Dale. I thought I saw you. Rachel and Adam Miller and Lucy. Everyone's in red tonight. Okay. You've got, Lucy, come up on the beam, would you please, sweetie? You got to show everyone that dress. And she's going to curtsy for us and everything. Wow. Look at that. Yes, that's the full. And Hinda Berkelhammer. Is Hinda here tonight? I've seen Hinda recently, but I'll give that too. And Michelle and Fred Miller. Bringing some sunshine to us. And Liz and Ed Siegel. And this is the part where I ask, is there anyone who should be having their name called, but I didn't call their name? Oh, Cheryl Hoffman. Stand up, Cheryl. Probably it's somewhere on the back of the list here, and I just didn't see it, but we are so delighted, and what a blessing. You know, you gave me the picture of the family. I didn't run into the family in Israel, but I was ready just in case I did. And again, blessings to you and to the whole family. And so, if you turn in your worship handout to page 2, Rabbi Hertz and I, and Rabbi Hertz is included within the new members also, which happens every so often. We are going to read together with Cantor Debbie and with President Andy Broad. We're going to read the top paragraph. And you can see here, new members, okay, all y'alls, are going to read the next passage together. And then those who are current members, you get to do the bottom there, right underneath that, and I'm just being very deliberate here just so that we're not all caught off guard. And then where it says all, we're all together going to come in with those words in Hebrew, which are transliterated. And then at the end, we're going to say those words, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, together we are strong. Actually, if you want to like, let's go off the page here. Together we are stronger, right? We'll even add our own words to that. So let's start together, just us up on the bima, and then at the time, the new members will go together. Our God and God of all people, we thank you for the gift of sacred partnerships that connect us to you through the blessing of shared experience. Tonight, Temple Emmanuel is enhanced with these new members of our congregation. We ask your blessing on them as they become part of our lives, and we become part of theirs. Show them the path to meaningful involvement and life-changing connection as we join together to make our congregation more complete.
We give thanks for the opportunity to become a part of Temple Emmanuel. May our involvement bring us friendship, meaning, and purpose. We are committed to help build this sacred community.
We are thankful for the new
perspectives and spiritual gifts that you bring. May we learn from and strengthen one another.
Together, let us share our joys and find comfort in times of sorrow.
We welcome you with excitement and commitment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu livnot kehillah kedosha. We praise you, Adonai our God.
who sanctifies us through the commandments and commands us to build sacred community. Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek. Together we are stronger.
Let's all say,
Amen.
Deb. Or Jerry. Jerry, come on back up here. You got the announcements today.
So I'm Jerry Plofsky, and I'm on the board here. And if you look at these announcements, it's just exactly what I was saying. I mean, look at all the things. There's pickleball lessons. There's a sisterhood book club, which is great. The one other thing that I thought was great is a mental health workshop on Monday, June 16th, which that's great. That's really important. And there's the 100th anniversary celebration. Join us at our Green Street campus for a special Shabbat, which is great, celebrating 100th anniversary of our beautiful historic campus. There's our announcements. There are more announcements in here. Welcome to Temple Emmanuel. Shabbat Shalom.
Turning back in our prayer books to page 371, community lifts each other up in good times and in hard times, and so we take a moment to consider those in our hearts and our families, our friends who are in need of healing. In the middle of page 371, our prayer of healing, Mishaberach, a prayer for all of us that we might find the strength to make our lives a blessing. And then we'll pause to share the names of those we're thinking tonight of for healing and offer the second part of the blessing for them.
Amen.
page 586 with Aleinu. It's one of those times now, happens from time to time, where we, as a community, it seems like almost every day, are learning of the passing of someone else very close and very dear to us. If you take a look in your worship handout just on page 7, usually there are just a few names of those that we're remembering, and this time it fills an entire page. Just within the course of this past week, we're remembering the passing of Maxine Yeager. Within the course of this past 30 days, we're remembering Linda Silverstein, Marion Shearer, Harvey Colchimiro, Suzanne Lois Graber, and Mark. Our hearts go out to you and to the entire family. We're remembering one of our beloved rabbis here, Temple Emmanuel, Rabbi Arnie Task. We're remembering Alice Isaacson, Brad Krantz, and David Mann. Sadly, we have to add to that list also, with full hearts we add to that list, Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram, so terribly taken from us in an act of terror in Washington, D.C. And while our hearts are so full, we also are remembering those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of their passing, took place this past week. Nellie Becker, Herbert Bergstein, Zalman Botchkis, Hank Broad, Abram Fishbein, Daniel Foreman, William and Helene Frank. Should I say Bill, Barry? Bill. Bill and Helene Frank. I knew him as Bill. Paul Diamond, Howard Goldberg, Linda Goldman, Nancy Gordon, Fred Glickman, Jeffrey Greenberg, David Haber, Lyle Haynes, Barbara E. Heister, Edward Horowitz, Sidney LeBauer Jr., Gerald Piltz, Jack Pulitzer, Jason Schlein, Albert Sheridan, Chet Shylosky, Jerome Simon, Raymond Smith, Ann Spear, Maud Taylor, Harold Werner, Evelyn Warren, and Robert Willen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always live on as a blessing and as an inspiration, as together we all say amen. I'm going to ask that we stand together, because together we are indeed stronger. And we'll join our voices on page 598 with the traditional Jewish words of remembrance. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah, be'alma divrach hiruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon v'yomechon, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה. דע אמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. Yehi Shalama Rabba Min Shamaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom V'imru Mav, V'yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And may God, who creates harmony on high, bring peace to us, to Israel, to our entire nation here at home, to the entire Middle East, and to all humanity, as together we all say, Amen. One more time, by the way, you can put your prayer books down if you want to just go like this, but direct them over towards the keys over here tonight. Nate Littman, who I am used to seeing with a guitar in hand, we asked him a question about a week ago. We said, hey, Nate, can you get behind the keys? And you know what he said? Yeah, I'll give it a try. That was a pretty amazing try. Yeah. Stick around tonight, right? Following services, immediately following services, we're going to go to the far end of our foyer, take a cup of wine or grape juice, hold on to it for a moment. We're going to do Kiddush, right? Don't drink it yet. We're going to do Kiddush and Motzi together. And then afterwards, stick around for Oneg. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, we have our Torah study. And, please come here to Temple. You got a good plug for it tonight. And tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning, we have services here as we call Maddie Strasser to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. All are invited. We're on page 657, a prayer of peace in Hebrew and in Arabic. Od Yavo Shalom, Salam. May peace really be there for us and the whole world.